All right, and we are live. Yep, we are live. All right, welcome everyone to Through the Portal. Here we want to step across the threshold into vision, creativity, and the deeper stories waiting to emerge. Today I have Joey Clifton and Salman Meta Slade. Said I
Great.
hope I said that right.
Yeah.
And just a quick introduction of the two. Joey and Saul lead the Changemaker Collective, a nurturing home for purpose-led humans who feel worn thin by the work they care most about. They guide changemakers back into resilience and rooted community, making the path of impact more connected, spacious, and sustainable. And yeah, welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Nice to be here.
Yeah, Joey, so why don't we start out um, with you talking about what you do and kind of like what currently is alive with the Changemaker Collective. What's happening?
Great. So, what we do, the Changemaker Collective, is well, you've just given a lovely overview, and to put some kind of flesh on the bones of it, we are both of our backgrounds are in the sustainability world, and both of us have experienced. Um, the challenges, the many challenges of what that looks like, or some of the many challenges of what that looks like, including burnout, and working towards things that we like, our positive future that we, both really, really care about, and feeling um, uh, debilitated in that work, because of the systems we worked in, but also the approach that is so kind of cultural to that work, and that is a large part of why we started the Changemaker Collective. So wanting to uh, basically change the way we do change making, like change the assumptions, change the beliefs around it, that we don't like it doesn't have to be this thing that is isolated and lonely or hard or um, uh, leads inevitably leads to burnout, or where it's like this just like big uphill struggle, when actually we really believe not only that it gets to be like we get to do it together, like it's a much more fun, impactful thing when we do it together, when we're, our worlds are very isolated these days. A lot of people work remotely. If you do
Hmm.
work in a big organization, you don't necessarily have good collegial structures and support. Even if you're kind of at director level or something, you don't necessarily have the support structures you need. And really like believing that being in community in that is such a more joyful, generative, regenerative way to do sustainability, climate, social justice work. Um, but also there's a big piece in our Changemaker Collective of like, we really believe that it's also really, really important to do the inner work that goes along with being a change maker. So that's where
Hmm.
resilience comes from, is knowing what you need, knowing your boundaries, having a regulating practice in your world, being with others, being connected to joy, um, all of that stuff. So that's kind of a large part of what the Changemaker Collective looks like, is a group of people who are doing great work in the world, who believe it can be done together and with resilience and with joy. And when we do all of those things, it's more impactful as well. Um, so, Sol, what do you want to add? What have I missed?
I don't think you've missed anything. I think that was wonderful. I was just standing back in awe of that description of our mission and what we care about and the outcomes we seek for our members. No, that was beautiful. Yeah, I think we do our best work when we feel our best, and coming together to share that journey with various practices can be really supporting. And it comes from our own experience, like Joey said, our own experience of work in sustainability and social justice and the challenges that we faced along the way. And we're really, really proud and happy to be offering spaces for people who are on that journey and that path as well. Nothing else really to add. That was great.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Yeah. Maybe let's go a little bit to how it all started and like kind of what made you, want to do this. And not only personally for each of you, but like how did you come to do this work together, right? Like how did the Change Maker Collective start?
Go on, Sol.
Cool. Also, so our relationship goes back a way. So Joey and I have known each other for a long time. We studied a master's in sustainability in London. How many years ago? 15?
2009 we started, 2009, 2010.
Okay.
So yeah, 15 years ago.
Cool. And then we've gone off and had kind of different but related careers. Joey getting into coaching earlier than I, but both having an original kind of starting shared connection around environmentalism, social justice, creating change. And my work had taken me through education, social justice. I'd worked in events and projects in local communities and within schools, and had really come to a place where I was teaching mindfulness courses in schools with faculty and with students, and I really loved that work. And I was getting to a place maybe where I was feeling like there was a heaviness to the work. There was a frustration with the work, and it felt like constantly kind of like pushing uphill, and it was feeling like on the edge of burnout. It started to feel like a grind, and it felt like a common experience with those I spoke to around really desperately wanting to be a force for good in the world and not feeling as effective as I would like to, feeling like I was pushing against a culture that pushed back harder than I was able to. And really having a lot of that tied up in an identity there, whereby if I didn't feel like I was being effective, if I didn't feel like it was difficult, then it wasn't real work. And I wasn't really living up to the expectations on me. And Joe and I had a conversation, and we kind of had some similar experiences around that. And I think one of the things that we'd both experienced in recent years was a bit of a lack of connection to a community. A lot of our work is online. COVID for many of us put us behind laptops at home for more time, which was wonderfully convenient, but also meant that I didn't get to spend time with other people doing similar work in all kinds of creative, interesting, helpful ways. Didn't get to share those experiences. And so we just came together and said, well, let's play around. Joey's really good at play. She's really encouraging experimentation and play. And so we played, and we just talked about what might really serve us. And we kind of, I think, started with our own experience and those that we spoke with. And so we just kind of started off with a few people and really just asking who shares this experience and who would be interested in being part of an initial group of people and allowing us to play and just evolve and develop it with. And that's what we've been doing for the last 6 months. And then January's going to come around soon, and we're going to do a little bit of a fresh relaunch with all the things we've been learning and developing and evolving along the way. And it just feels like a really good place right now. So I think, yeah, that's kind of how it kind of evolved. It wasn't necessarily, there was kind of like a vision, but there wasn't like a specific grand plan. There's nowhere that we necessarily desperately want it to be. We have ideas of where we would love it to get to that we're inspired by, but we're pretty open. I mean, for example, Joey was really clear from the start, like she's not interested in running retreats and getting people together in person. And she was really clear, like that's not something she wants to do. And I was like, cool, that's great. And then a few months in, we had this wonderful group of people, and people were starting to talk about, when are we going to get together in person? And then we were both kind of like, oh, you know what? This could be a thing. This is really fun. This would be nice. And so it's just like a little example of how things, evolve and change. And so it's just a part of our approach that I really enjoy.
I love that.
It's also really interesting. I always find this, how when you've got two or more people in something, and how you're like, how you describe a process of things launching can also be like how we remember things can be so different. So that's like, it's not that it's different, but it's just like a different angle, I guess, on the same thing. So one of the things that I remember, so one of the reasons that I wanted to start a community was because I've worked one-to-one with predominantly women working in climate and social justice and sustainability for quite a long time, and something that's kind of been kind of like talking to me like a tiny voice in the corner for a really long time is these are all amazing people. I need to get them together. And like I have run retreats in the past, and that has kind of hit that a little bit. But I really wanted something that was ongoing. Like these are brilliant people with amazing knowledge and wisdom and experience, and like what happens when we get people together, like kind of cross-pollination, like collaboration piece, I just love. And so I remember having this idea of actually it was in large part down to a community that you and I are part of, Maria, the Sacred Growth Club, and like being in the Sacred Growth Club and suddenly having this like a door had opened for me of like, this is a way like community can look, and feeling really inspired about that. And so I remember having a thought about the fact that, maybe I could run a community, but I don't want to do it on my own. I really love working with people. Who do I want to work with? And thinking like, I'd love to work with you. You'd not been too long on your own, Sol, and then giving you a call. And I was walking through the woods with my dog, and I was really excited about this. I really need to talk to you about something. Like, I've got this idea, I want to share it. And you were like, I'm in the car with my in-laws. Is this a good time? Is this a good time?
You were on
Such a memory
speakerphone.
of
Yeah.
of like just so much excitement and energy about it. And and obviously like Sol shared the rest, but just just this idea that we could we like have very similar, like Venn diagram, very similar experiences, but also different experiences, and coming together and both seeing the real benefit of just a regular practice with an open community of people, kind of open closed, a community of people, we can talk more about that, where we show up for each other and we mutually support each other. And like it's one of the things I love the most about what we've created so far is like there's such a like we're in it for meaningful connection, we're in it for depth of connection. Like we really believe in like building those layers of trust and getting to know each other, and the value of that being that people really see each other's brilliance and they're like, you can totally do that, or I love what you're creating, or like really celebrating with each other and appreciating each other's like milestones and achievements, and they can be micro, they don't have to be macro at all. But anyway, that's enough. That's where it came from for me.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds awesome. Two things that kind of like stuck out to me. One was Sol was saying something about experimentation and playfulness, and that that kind of led me to the question of what does that mean to you in your current work, and like what you're doing and what you have kind of planned on, or what you currently launching. You mentioned something about launching something, and then there was something, and maybe we can get to that after that. Joey mentioned something about open close dynamic of the group community. So maybe you can, I don't know which one you want to start with, or
Yeah, cool. Joey, do you want to talk about play?
Oh, okay. I mean, it's just a great way to approach life, right? I grew up, my mum was a play therapist at one point, and she's a big believer in play. And I think that just got imbued in me from a
I did
very
not know this.
Did you not
This
know
is
that?
new
Okay.
information.
Yeah, my
Oh,
mum has a
okay.
huge value around play, and I think I took it from her. And I have a very silly sense of humor, and I love to play and be. I think I'm trying to spend as much of my adult life being as childlike as I possibly can. Spend all your childhood trying to be an adult and all your adulthood trying to be a child. And I think as far as an approach to like a community and a business and a business relationship, I mean we're friends first and foremost, and we're business partners secondarily, I would say. And I think it's a really nice way to be, because there's kind of first of all, you don't take yourself too seriously. It's like, we're not going to get this right. We're just gonna try something. We're going to experiment with something. And it won't be the right thing. Like, we've done 1,000 iterations of our community in the last 8 months, and we'll do 1,000 more, and every single brilliant one of them has come from our community. But it's also like, it's just a fun way to be. Like, it's really super experimental. Like, it's we get to not take ourselves too seriously. We get to have a lot of fun in the process. It's a more joy, like, we really both believe in joy, and like, we're human beings, like joy, like, it gets to be part of our human experience. Like, it's not something you have to earn, you just get to be joyful. And I think it's a really magnetic approach as well, of like, let's have some fun in this. We're going to do the work either way, we might as well have fun doing it, rather than
Right.
like clawing our way through this. And I don't know what else there is to say about play. I just think it's great.
Yeah,
What do you
I
want
think
to
it's a really
add?
nice, it's just an antidote, I think, as well, to some of the heaviness that surrounds, I mean, life in general, but maybe, you know, for us, this work in particular. It's really beautiful for me how I spent so many years like on the meditation cushion seeking like equanimity, like this real kind of calm balance. And that's wonderful. And that's still like the baseline groundwork of my practice. And at the same time, there's something wonderfully refreshing about just being like, yeah, and this can be really fun, and we can just enjoy this. And it is hard a lot of the time, but also look at all this amazing stuff. And even if there's not much amazing stuff, can we just hold it all with a little bit of lightness and just like try to direct our attention to the positive stuff as well? So for me, I've really enjoyed that about working together, and about just how we're just trying to imbue that in the community, in the sessions that we run, and in our WhatsApp group, and the messages, and just that kind of, it's not just like positive thinking, it's real, just kind of like, it's actually real deep inner work, I think, but presented in a really kind of casual, easy way.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and I mean that includes stuff like humor and just having fun. And yeah, I remember we were talking about mindfulness, and how people can be like really serious with it. But if you look at like a lot of the really good teachers and masters, they all have some sort of mischievous humor to them, that they always like bring something out that you have to laugh. And you're right, it is an antidote.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah, and I definitely think that the teachers and the masters that I know, that I'm drawn to the most in this work, the people who are doing work that I really admire, they do have I love that mischievous humor. They have a like kind of a way. Is it, there's a humanness to it as well though, Maria. Like, it's like, it doesn't, I think that the professional world can be very, very serious, and like, we have to put on this mask of like, we've got it all together and we know what we're doing. And Sol and I are quite clear. We really like, one of the videos we released on LinkedIn was very clearly us not having it all together, like absolutely intentionally releasing this like incredibly cringy video of a completely imperfect recording of something that a conversation we were having. And like, we really want that to be a part of the picture. It's like, I don't really like masks. I don't want you to think that I've got it all together. I haven't. I'm a human being. I'm a work in progress, like we all are. And that's so much more human, and so much more relatable, and more authentic. And then we can have real conversations and learn from each other, and do this stuff together, rather than like pretending it's all good and we know what we're doing, when most of us are making it up, aren't we? Let's face it. So
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. And then the open closed thing, yeah, that's not clear at all, is it? Basically, it's not it doesn't have a defined beginning with a group of people going on a specific set journey to a defined end. So it's not a closed system like that. And it's not an open system in the sense of people can just come and go as they please. It's it's a membership. It's a community membership where we want people to step in, and in order to create meaningful relationships, we want people to stick around for a bit, because you really only get from a community what you put in. And I've really learnt that over the last few years, or last year or so, with the SGC, but also with our Changemaker Collective. And then those relationships just bloom and blossom, and it doesn't matter if they're entirely virtual or not. And so yeah, so that's kind of the idea, is we ask people to join us, and to join us ideally for a few months as a minimum, and to get to know us, and to get to know how it can support them. So that's what I meant by a not open, not closed
I see it,
community.
yeah. So you don't have a very defined okay, we start on Monday and go for 3 months, and exactly we have, yeah, okay. But within the community, where are you with that right now? Like, what kind of things do you do and offer?
Console.
Yeah, okay, cool. So like the nuts and bolts of like what actually, like a week or a month in the collective looks like. Yeah. So so with something that actually we're going to bring back, I'll start with something in the new year we're probably going to be leaning back into, which is interesting to like think through our process initially. Actually, we created like a lot of structure initially and a lot of intentionality about how we wanted these different spaces to look, and then realized actually maybe we were controlling it a little bit too much to start, and we want to just create a little bit more fluid spaces and see what the community really felt that they were attracted to, and then we could evolve and develop from there. So what we're going to be probably bringing back in January is some themes to base our work around. So it's a little bit more cyclical. So where Joey said it's not a closed group, in that it's not it's not a 3-month process whereby we take you from beginning to end, but we felt without something to hold the journey, it felt a little bit like it felt like it would just be benefited by some kind of holding. So we're going to bring back some themes. They're going to cycle around kind of roughly some nature connections, some sense of moving through the seasons. So we're going to have some seasonal work going on, but the themes are going to be around, God, what did we talk about recently, Joey? We were just talking about, like, there's some stuff around self-leadership, there's stuff around resilience, there's mission-based work. And so each month, every week, we have regular live sessions. We have about 3 a week. And the expectation is not that everyone has to attend everything. We're trying to provide enough spaces that people can dip in and out when they can. And then these sessions are kind of loosely aligned with the seasons and the themes that we have. So the sessions that we currently have are based around space to be, which is one primarily around having opportunities to pause and slow down in your week, to regulate using practices such as mindfulness and breath work and some of the deep inner embodied work, to just take a pause, check in with ourselves, see how we're doing, and pick up some skills around that. We have spaces where we think and where we connect, where we can bring our like real life challenges and moments to celebrate, and just like nitty little problems that we've got that we want to maybe get some support on, or hear other people's thinking on, that Joey and I can help. But it's also a really beautiful space where other members of the community can kind of chip in if requested, to give some support or some advice or just their perspective. But also maybe they know someone that would be a helpful connection as well, to go to support the other person. And we also have a co-working space, which we run on Fridays to end the week strong, to just help people to get stuff done, but together. So we have the sessions, we have the themes, we have we offer coaching spaces as part of the membership. So Joey and I jump on a call with everyone once a quarter, so 4 times a year, for people to bring any kind of challenge or experience that we can help support them through. We have a wonderful WhatsApp group where people are really leaning into, and sometimes it's sharing resources, sometimes there's a whole bunch of silliness, and sometimes it's real, kind of, I don't know what to make of this. Has anyone experienced something similar? Can someone reflect something back that might be helpful? So yeah, I think those are the kind of main nuts and bolts offerings at the moment. So there's like cyclical themes as well as a weekly rhythm. And we're going to be developing, some more rituals and routines, I think, as well, which would be really nice to kind of really bring people into the space in a kind of official capacity that welcomes people in a way where they feel like, this is like a real nice home where I can actually hang out for a little while and get to know the people here. Joey, how did I cover that? What did I miss?
Yeah, lovely. No, all good. And just the other kind of piece at the moment is that we've got this really gorgeous core membership group. There's about 10 of us.
Yeah.
And they're just brilliant and we love them and we are growing. We're welcoming more people in. And I always think it's quite nice to have a sense of like what the vision is, which I know is where we're going, but just in terms of like the practicality. We don't envisage it being at this stage being a huge group. We, like I said, we're really have a kind of core value around it being meaningful connection and mutually supportive, and so kind of are looking for it to become maybe 25-ish people. Yeah, people who like Sol said can kind of follow our loose roadmap of themes and seasonality through the sessions and be supported to build their resilience, to build their sense of connection and feeling of being in something and not isolated, and as a result of that to be more clear and more impactful in the work that they do. So yeah.
No, I love that. That's a very beautiful vision that you have. Yeah. And that leads me into the next part. Yeah, so I mean, Joey knows a little bit more about what I do, I think, than you do, Sol. Basically, I'm a visual artist and I do combine my creative talent or skill, I guess. It is more of a skill than because you practice. With kind of a more, I don't know if you want to call it somatic or energy kind of level work. So, because I feel like I want to give people some sort of creative anchor and connection to kind of a lower level of perceiving. So lower or different level, separate level. So, you have a lot of people looking into the more cerebral, strategic side of vision, or, what kind of actions do I take? What's my planning and what's all these things? But for me, there's also a level that's more subconscious and metaphoric, and the feelings and that kind of layer of what does it all mean, and that's kind of what I've been trying to lead people in, and then I create art to bring that into form, what people experience and on that level of perceiving. So I'm going to lead you guys through a little meditation. So we'll do like a little grounding visualization meditation, and then you can share after, and I will paint something while you do. You ready?
Do you mind if I just jump in and just say something, Maria? Because I really,
Yes.
what drew me wanting us to do this with you was I really love what you just shared. I think we're so thinky. I know we're so thinky in our world, in our culture, and I think there's so much. I know there's so much knowledge in our bodies, in our energy, in our in other contexts of our beings, and I just think this work is so, I love it. It's so rich, it's so brilliant and powerful and deep in an entirely different way. I love it. So thank you for having us.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's get comfortable. Let's close your eyes, and we're doing a little bit of grounding relaxation at first. So I want you to just breathe, nothing special. Some slow breaths, coming into the moment. Just feel yourself in the space, connected to the ground. You feel that gravitational pull, the earth holding us always. And I just want you to, when you breathe, kind of notice any spots in your body where you feel some tension. And on the out breath, see if you can relax it. Just loosen it over the shoulders, the sit bones, hands, jaw, anything that's tight, tense. Kind of feel yourself in this space. There's nothing to worry about in the past. No plans for anything to worry coming after this moment. You're just here right now. In this body, on this earth. And when you relax a little bit into your body, I want you to put your attention on the heart space. And just feel like you're breathing into that space. And you can imagine just breathing in energy from all around you into your heart space. Warmth, the heart space with the where all your love and passion and connection and just breathe the energy and warmth into that place. You can kind of imagine it like a glowing light of warmth. And I want you to imagine opening a gentle channel from your heart to the place between your brows where your vision sits. Just breathe also into there, holding the two with your attention, gentle flow of energy back and forth between your heart, your love, your passion, your connection, and your vision and dreams and all the amazing things you want to be into. And then I want you to imagine that from that space of vision between your brows, a portal or doorway gets created. The doorway or portal to your inner space, your subconscious inner metaphorical, symbolical place of how your inner knowing, your body and your subconscious understand your path, your vision. And I want you to imagine going through this portal into that space. Just let it all surround you in all directions, coming into that space. And I want to try and explore this space of your vision and purpose and path with our senses. Just kind of think about or imagine how, what would that space feel like from a touch perspective, like on your skin? Do you feel like a breeze? Is it warm or cool there? Any tingling, any smooth or rough textures? And if the space has a smell, what would it smell like? Do you hear any sounds? And if you just look around and think about all the things that are around you, feel into them, what's close by, what's far away, any specific colors, shapes, objects, animals, people, anyone with you. What stands out in the space of your path and vision? And then, although we could spend all day in here, let's come back slowly through the portal and into the body, knowing that this space exists within us always, and we can always come back to explore it more. Just come back to your body, feel your body. Maybe wiggle your hands, arms a little bit, and then gently open your eyes. And we're back. Welcome back. I invite you to share what came up, specifically, anything that stood out of feelings, and anything that, yeah, just so, whatever stood out, or maybe was something that was surprising. Or if you didn't see anything, that's also beta. And yeah, and one of each. And what I will do is I'm going to switch my camera to my piece of paper, and I've not ever done a picture with two people doing this, so this is a new experience, which is very cool. So here's my piece of paper. You can see it. Okay, I think that's good. So I think I might have to do like one on each and then combine them somehow. We'll see how that works. All right, who wants to start?
Joey, do
I
you want
just
to kick it
need the,
off? I didn't mind.
I need the question again. So I don't know if you're clear on what you want to say, Sol, then go for it. But otherwise, I would love you just to ask the question again, Maria. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can ask it again. So share kind of the walk me through what you experienced, anything that stood out, and the feeling of it. And yeah, if I think that's a good start. And then we I might ask some more questions while we go through that.
So I I was in a like a kind of a room, but it was a meadow, and there was bird song, and the smell was like that incredible fresh warm sunlight smell in spring. And yeah, just bird song all around, and like insects everywhere, and swallows everywhere as well. So yeah, it felt like, it's interesting because I didn't think that I think that might be like, they might be some of my favorite smells and like favorite sounds and stuff. Yeah, and I had a vision of like just lying down in the long flowery meadowy grass. That's what came up for me.
How did it kind of make you feel? Like, was it
It's a real calm feeling. It's like
calming?
yeah,
Like
there's
just
something about
relaxing
bird
into
song
the.
that makes us like psychologically safe, and it felt really safe, really calm. Like, and you know how your body relaxes in sunlight, and how like you just want to lie down and just be in your senses. There's something very presencing about like, yeah, sun and warmth, and like a space that feels safe, and like a season you love. And yeah, so it felt very like I just kind of, I can see myself lying back in like long grass and just like watching everything buzz around me. Aliveness.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just draw some birds. They're just flying around here. Might be one on the ground. They're small, so they don't look more like dinosaurs. They are
Look like
dinosaurs.
birds from here.
That's right. They are dinosaurs. All right, some birds. And then I will draw you as well. You're laying in here. Enjoying. That's you. Being on the meadow and relaxing. So when you think about this, what do you feel that means for your path? Is it like kind of a more slowing down, or just kind of relaxing into this, what you've started to build? I feel like it's like you've come to like the right place, or how does that feel to you when I say these things?
Can I come back to that? Can I just sit with that question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think there's maybe a bit of depth to that I just need to connect with.
All right, maybe we'll let you think about that a little bit, and then maybe Soul can share.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Is that good, Joey? Should we come back to you?
Please, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, firstly, I want to say how much I enjoyed that. I felt fully transported through the portal, and then as Joey was talking about hers, I was reimagining mine, which is not too dissimilar to Joey's, perhaps quite unsurprisingly. But I also found myself initially in a kind of meadow during spring, but then it kind of transformed a little bit more into some light woodland during early August. And so there was like a real crisp freshness to the air. And there was also birdsong. And there were also insects. And there was like rich, dark earth underfoot amongst the kind of fallen autumnal leaves. And so I was wearing like it was warmish, but there was a freshness and a chill in the air. So I had like a bit of an outdoor jacket on as well, which was nice. And as it evolved, I began to just be walking through by myself and exploring and kind of feeling the bark on the trees and listening to the birds. And then I kind of continued to walk and found, and I think, it was fresh on my mind because we'd been talking about the community and retreats. And I kind of found the members of our community in the woods. And like one person had made a fire and they were like making a cup of tea with a kind of kettle over the top of the fire, and people were just kind of living in this kind of like cool community space in the woods. And it wasn't like I or Joey and I were really particularly like facilitating it or structuring it. It was just people just living and being together, and it just felt really nice to be just like sharing responsibilities and learning from each other and just coexisting. And it just kind of felt like a really beautiful space where we were doing that. Yeah, it was really nice to see them all there, really. It was good. It smelled very earthy. And I felt very calm, but also like an energized calm.
Mm-hmm. Very okay. I'm just trying to capture the forest here for now. A little bit of this one tree that was supposed to be a tree turned into the smoke of the fire. See the fire. So let me add some more reds. Spring to fall. Let's just skip the summer.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of light coming in this one. And we need people. We're gonna have a soul. Pins everywhere.
Is it annoying if I talk while you're creating?
No. Go right ahead.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
So I'm not going to get all of this, but I think that like there's so many layers to how this connects with my path. So like like our collective is part of our ecosystem of work, right? Like Sol and I both work with individuals as well as holding a community together. And so, and a thread between both of those things for me is what we've talked about around resilience and like well-being and joy and being more impactful humans. And so I can see in what you've drawn on my side of the page, on our side of the page, like all of those themes on the whole page, all of those themes. And then like kind of it also connects with one of my like I am a commitment to a wilder, more biodiverse world. And like that's one of my real like things I want to make a difference to in the world. So it's not just kind of the human side, it's also the nature side. And so for me that also really connects with the meadow and the vibrancy of nature and the natural world and stuff in there, and like my purpose in this life. And then so for our community it's it's about being together. And I feel like you've got that piece of it so beautifully in there, so that kind of community support, teamwork, like seeing us as a web of life. I think we come to see ourselves increasingly as like individuals in a system, and actually when like really taking a stand for us being a web of like we're together, we're interconnected. Let's spend some time together. Let's share our ideas. Let's be together. Let's support each other. Let's laugh together. Let's, yeah, all of that stuff. Lean into us as a community. Yeah, I haven't remembered all of it, but that is a part of how this all connects for me.
And what that brings up in me, to use a cliche, is like being or like living the change that we seek to create in the world as well. It's about using the community as a place where we co-create to design and live spaces which we hope to become more prevalent in the world as well. And that works in that connection with nature, and it connects to just how we want to show up in the world. We try and do that for each other as a way to bring about more of that in the world, and now and encourage us to do that in other parts of our lives as well, outside the community, I think, as well, for me. Yeah.
There. This would, I'm thinking, so live the change. Might be talking about you're modeling this, you're living this together. And then I put interconnection as the, actually, I missed something. The fire needs to have some flames, otherwise it's just gonna
Oh yeah, don't miss the fire.
smoky.
Smoky logs.
It's just smoke signals. There we go.
Oh, I
Put it in,
love
yeah.
this. I genuinely love this.
Thanks. A little vision. I hope I did it justice.
I love how much our visions are like the same and different. It's like, yeah, not massive surprise, but also still really lovely.
I really like the two things you pulled out there actually as well, Maria. Like the two things you've written, interconnection and live the change. I think that's really nice as words that really symbolize and represent maybe what we've brought to this conversation and to the portal. And actually, I think what I said around living the change, I don't think I'd so formally thought that before until I just started speaking and it came out. And I think that is actually really important for me, because I do struggle to live the change in my own life without connecting with others who are trying to do the same thing. I can sometimes feel isolated in the way I want to live and the direction in which I hope the world moves. And I find it difficult to sustain behaviors that I wish to live without knowing other people are walking that road with me. So that's really nice that you captured that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it reminds me kind of a discussion I had recently, which is this real cyclical and rhizomatic way of teaching, to, like, as a teacher or guide, you will also, you can also be the student in the same way. So, what you bring to the community, you can also get from the community, right? And
100%.
and then it just kind of branches out, where you don't have to do this all alone, and you don't also have to create this massive thing. Like you were saying, you wanted to keep it too small. You create the small little community, and then it spreads out, right? Like the people in your community will have another community that, like, they are part of, or people that they know, and where they can, with the things that they learn and the way of being, influence, or kind of like bring that into the world, right? So yeah, I love that.
Totally.
I just got re-inspired all over again for our community. It was nice.
Awesome. That's exactly what I'm trying to do with my work.
Mission
Inspire
accomplished.
people that have beautiful visions to connect, or back, have like this connection back to their vision, and be re-inspired. Like, this is why I'm doing this, right? This is why I'm doing this every day. Remind yourself, yes, this is why.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
yeah, as soon as I came up with this title of a visual bard for me, because bards for me is like this, and that shows my nerdy side. Like, like a D&D bard is like, inspiring the party to, giving them boosts by inspiration
Mhm.
with their song, and I'll do that with my art, with my visual bard.
Mhm.
I hadn't got that before then, so yeah, I appreciate you sharing that.
Mhm.
Oh, this has been fun. Thank you, Maria.
Mhm.
You're welcome, and thank you for being here. This was great. I really love like hearing more. I mean, I heard bits and pieces before in the chats, and no, it's really nice to see you do this, and yeah, I love it.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Maria. Oh, that was
Can you
great.
take a photo of that for us and we can
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm planning on doing the replay, the Substack replay with like kind of like a recap and put the picture in there as well. And I can also send it separately to you. I'm
lovely,
just kind of
thank you.
looking
Amazing.
over at the chat real quick. Nobody has said anything, but it's also a little early here in the. Oh, there's 7 people. I guess I know enough people in Europe that will come to this time of the day. This is funny.
Mhm.
Oh, great. Well,
You're
thank you very
Maria,
much.
awesome.
Thanks for having us.
it was
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah, real pleasure.
You have a wonderful week.
Thank you. And
Thank
you.
you. You
We're off to run
too.
a session for the collective now,
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
see you very soon, Joey. We'll keep it going.
yes, see you in a minute.
All right.
Bye for
Thanks,
now.
Maria.
Take
Thanks.
Bye.
care.
Bye. Bye.